Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Dalen here. So in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to read an inspection report so you're well informed whenever you go to buy your next property. And if you would, please subscribe to the channel. I'm bringing out weekly videos about personal finance and real estate. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so you never miss one of my future videos. So without further ado guys, let's jump right in. So I always recommend people get an inspection because for just $300 to $400, you can have the peace of mind whenever you go through such a large purchase as buying a home. And I also think that it can provide amazing negotiating power when you go back to the seller after the inspection's been done and you say, hey, can you fix this or can you take some money off? It just gives you so many options that you wouldn't have had you not gotten an inspection. And also, if you don't have that in-depth construction knowledge, which most people don't, then there's no way for you possibly to know everything that's wrong with the house just by walking through it one or two times. You have to have that inspection to really give you that peace of mind, like I said, and that knowledge of exactly what you're getting yourself into. So yeah, I can't really think of a reason why you wouldn't get an inspection unless maybe you're a seasoned investor and you have a lot of contractors that can come alongside you and walk through your home. But for the majority of people who may only buy 1, 2, or 3 homes in their lifetime, I would say an inspection is essential, if not mandatory. And when you are going to get an inspection, guys, just make sure you pick a good inspector. Make sure they have good reviews and make sure that they've done this a lot. Make sure that they're very thorough. So they spend a lot of time at the property. Their inspection report is going to be really long and detailed. You want to make sure that your inspector is vetted and that they are going to do a great job on your property, protecting yourself against possible unforeseen damages. And yeah, guys, after you get the actual inspection, you're going to get the report. So this particular report is an actual report on a house that I purchased. I want to run through it with you guys real quick. So I always like to start out on the general summary page. And the general summary page is just going to provide you those high-level details. It's going to break down each category. So it's going to have roofing, exterior, plumbing, and it's just going to give you a brief synopsis of those whatever's wrong in that category. And yeah, so once you've read the general summary, then you can go ahead and dial in on each category specifically. So I'm going to focus first on the roofing. And as you can see, there's a legend here, and it's basically laid out like IN represents inspected, NI represents not inspected, NP not present, and RR repair or replace. So obviously you really want to focus on those RR items, repair and replace, because those are the items that the inspector noted that are going to need to be addressed by a qualified contractor. I'd also pay attention to the not inspected. So if there's any things in the not inspected category, that may cause a red flag because that means that the inspector couldn't inspect it for any reason. Maybe it was a crawl space and they couldn't get in there because it was just way too small. So pay attention to that, because if it's not inspected, then no one knows what's going on there. And you also want to pay attention to the picture. So if there are pictures, that means the inspector took the time out to grab his phone and take a picture, so you know it's actually an important item that he wanted to point out. So in this particular picture, there were some shingles that were a bit aged. So the inspector pointed that out and then marked it RR in the roof covering category. And yeah, so the report itself is not too complicated. You're just looking over the legend here, and then you're looking at the pictures and you're making sure nothing just poses too big of a red flag to you. You want to make sure that everything looks orderly and there's not too many big ticket items. And those big ticket items that you really want to spend the most time on are the plumbing, electrical, and structural. I may be missing a few there, but those are the big ones that come to my mind. You want to spend the majority of your time there because those can be the deal makers or the deal breakers for you. And I highly recommend you talk to your agent, or better yet, a contractor about those things if you see a lot of RRs or whatever it is on your report. If you see a lot of repairs suggested, make sure you bring that to your agent or contractor, because they're going to have a much better idea of what that issue is. For example, if you don't have a lot of construction knowledge yourself. And yeah, so once you are armed with the knowledge of what's wrong or what's not wrong with your house, you can go to that seller's agent that is, and you can start negotiating. Say maybe the roof needs replacing. Well, you may be able to negotiate $5, $6, up to $10,000 off your house purchase to compensate for that roof being aged. You never know. You always have to ask. And then the reason I always recommend getting an inspection is because then you have that proof, and you can say, hey, it says right here that the roof needs replaced. And so it's not just like I'm wanting this to happen. No, it needs to happen because it says so in the report. So just to summarize the video, guys, you want to make sure you first off get the inspection for the reasons I mentioned, just the peace of mind and negotiating power that you do have. You also want to start with that summary page so you know exactly at a glance what's going on with that report before you dive into the details. Then you want to look out for those big ticket items that can make or break your deal. And finally, you want to talk to your agent or a contractor about what's the best course of action to go once you do have the inspection done. And I think, guys, if you follow those steps, you're going to have no problem navigating the home inspection process, which will then lead you to the next processes of buying your home. It's an exciting time, but you want to make sure you cover yourself and you do your due diligence. And one part of that is getting an inspection report. So I do hope you all got value out of this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I always like it to see a like come in. Hope you all have a great day and take it easy.